My name is Brenda Gould. I'm the Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity of Greater Lowell, and also on the call for, I'm not sure what everybody can see, but Lisa Garvey, our Outreach Development Community Outreach Director, is also on the call. So we've muted everybody because if you've been on a Zoom call, the slightest noise in the background seems to amplify on one of these. So what we've done is we have muted everyone. At the end, we will unmute or you can raise your hand. There's also, during the presentation, Lisa Garvey's email is there and her phone number, and we're both in the office now, but we would strongly encourage, if you have questions, to email so that we can get back to you. We can call you, tomorrow, whatever, to give you the questions, the answers to the questions. So we will go through the process, but please feel free to go ahead and ask questions, save them for the end, but feel free to email because lots of people, many of the questions are personal and they'd rather just do it one-on-one. So, okay, so I'm a little bit new on being the host on this, so I will do my best to watch that there are questions, and Lisa will watch as well. But don't worry, we won't get off the call without making sure that you have directions on what you need to do. So I'm going to get going because I know it's late and it's a long day. So we're going to talk about a few things, habitat in general, home ownership, what it means to partner with us, and then we're going to go through the pre-qualification application. Because this is not just a simple lottery where you just put your name in, you qualify, and that's it. There are a few other things involved. So for those of you who don't know about Habitat, our mission is basically to build strength, stability, and self-reliance through affordable home ownership. This is a home ownership opportunity. We do not do rentals. So that you know what's going on right now, first of all, we've been in business since 1991. We'll be celebrating our 30th year coming up. And we are currently doing a construction in Billerica, a single family home in Billerica, which we hope to be finished by April of, actually that should be 2021, my mistake, April of next year. Maybe with COVID, I thought it was going to be done this year, but next year. And the houses that we're going to be talking about tonight are in Concord. And we are going to start the houses in February of next year and hopefully be done within a year. COVID has made it challenging for us, but we're only going to be doing one house at a time. So we hope to have it finished within the year. On average, we try to build homes in Lowell and in the surrounding area. We try to do 50% of our homes in Lowell and then the rest in our surrounding areas. And Concord is one of our surrounding towns, and so is Billerica. We also do critical home repairs, which is for people who already own homes. We go and work on their house to help, whether it's a code issue, maybe an accessibility issue, maybe a weatherization issue, to help them stay in their home. So those are our two main goals, building new and repairing old. Many of you should have already received information, but I'm going to stress this a couple times in the presentation. There are various criteria to be able to qualify for a Habitat home. You have to live, work, or go to school in our affiliate territory. And at the end, I will confirm again what our territory is, but we have 16 towns that pretty much go from 128 up Route 2, up Route 3 to 495. That's our general area. And I will give you the towns, but you have to live, work, or go to school in our territory. You also have to have an ability to pay. I realize now that there may be many of you that might unfortunately be unemployed with the COVID issues, but you do have to have an income, a job, either a steady disability income or a employment. Unemployment is not something that lasts forever, so that does not count for ability to pay. And we'll talk about that later because there could be some of you in that situation. You have to have a need. There has to be a financial need, which basically means that right now you're paying more than 30% of your income to live, to rent your home, along with other bills. And there also could be physical conditions, crowded bedrooms, multiple people sharing bedrooms, issues with heat, issues with, I call little critters that come and visit. So physical conditions and financial need. Fourth, actually numbered wrong, is a willingness to partner. Habitat requires you to have some skin in the game. You do need to perform sweat equity and help build your home. Don't be nervous. We teach you everything. We have trained people. I myself cannot even hammer a nail, and so the people on site will help. You can have friends and family help you, but you do have to put in a certain amount of hours of sweat equity. Again, I understand that's very difficult. Many of you are working multiple jobs. You have kids at home, especially with the school systems the way it is. And we will work with you to help you get those hours in. But basically, you have a year pretty much to do that. You also have to go to financial training because we want you to be a successful homeowner. Classes are online. We also have them in person, but right now everything is online. And these will be things to teach you how to budget, how to plan for repairs, things to be a good neighbor. You know, you're not a tenant anymore, you own the home. So financial training is very important. And then often we'll ask you to be involved in some public awareness campaigns. We may ask to use your picture for mailings that we do, things like that. And then the last criteria is household size. We do not want overcrowding, even though I realize that many of you are overcrowded now. We also don't do homes with extra bedrooms. So if you're a 2-person, we're not going to put you in a 3-bedroom. We'll put you in the 2-bedroom. But we're not going to create an extra bedroom for you. So we'll go through this again, but those are the basics. And then the financial side is that you have to qualify to be between 30% and 65% of our median income. And those are the guidelines. Now, those are not hard and fast, at least the bottom one is. The top one, you know, sometimes you might be getting some seasonal pay. You might get sporadic overtime. You might have a job that's only works various hours, like a second job. We'll go through all of that to confirm with you one-on-one. But so there are some, areas there where it's not just hard and fast. So on that. Okay, the house that we're going to be talking about tonight is in Concord. For any of you who know, hopefully you know where Concord is. And if you're going down Route 2 toward Boston, so Route 2 East, you would get off at exit Route 62, which is the main street, going into West Concord. And the home is on the main street, but it is a walking distance into downtown West Concord. Has a really nice backyard, so I wouldn't be afraid that it's on the main street. Each house is approximately 1,300 square feet. It is going to be a duplex, an upper-lower duplex. The upstairs will have 3 bedrooms and a bath. The lower will have 2 bedrooms and a bath. Both will each have their own separate laundry, and the house does come with a washer and dryer. There is separate storage areas. There currently, if you were to drive by the house, you would see that there's a garage there. That's going to be converted into storage because we know very well that to be a successful, good neighbor, you have to have some storage. The bikes, the stuff that the kids have, you just don't want it in the front yard. So there's a garage that will be separate storage for each of you. And because there won't be an attic or a basement in this home. There is a backyard, as I mentioned, and you will be, even though we will be building the house, you will be responsible for picking various finishing touches, appliances, cabinets, lighting, flooring, things like that. We build all of our houses as green as we can. This house will be an all-electric house, but with the insulation and everything that we're putting in there, we expect that the cost per month will be around $150 per month, which I hope is less than what you're paying now if you have to pay for your own. This is a picture of the house right now. Well, not right now, but taken over the summer. There's the garage that I mentioned. There will be a covered area that will connect the houses with indoor access to the garage, well, the storage area. The house does slope down in the back, so the lower level is in the back, which you can't see right now. This is a floor plan. I realize it's a little difficult to see, but what I would tell you is this is the upper level. So there was the front door here. You'll come into a very large living dining area. We tried to put some furniture in there, and we're happy to send you information on this afterward. But you can have a dining area here. There's a kitchen here with the laundry facility, 1, 2, 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. Your storage area is over here with an entrance in here through the stairs. This is the upstairs unit. It does have a deck that looks out over the backyard, and the backyard is down here with stairs that go down into the backyard. The lower level is going to be, again, the storage is over here. This is the lower level. It has a back patio deck. The back of the house will be pretty much windows, sliding glass windows. We have a very big living area. The kitchen will be in the front of the house here. And then there's a bedroom, and then a bathroom here. And everything's a little small, but there is a laundry facility in here, which I can't find right now. It might be over in here, but the washer and dryer is in there. So the downstairs lower level is 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, upstairs 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. Okay, how do we do what we do? It's really about partnerships, and that's why we have you on the call today. It's a partnership between Habitat and you, and partnerships between people in the local community. We do all of our building with volunteers. Don't be afraid. We have supervised, licensed people, supervisors. And anything that requires permits like plumbing and electrical, those are all done by licensed people. But all of the building is done with individuals, local groups, organizations, local businesses who pay to come out and volunteer. And they build with us. And we try to build 5 days a week, usually Tuesday through Saturday, weather permitting. The families, you will work side by side with people in this group. And there's a lot of people. Almost 2,000 volunteers a year, almost 20,000 hours of volunteer labor. So that's how your house gets done. And that's why it also takes a year or so to build it. I don't really think I have to mention to you what homeownership means, because I know you're all looking forward to that. But especially now with the virus, home has become more than just home. It's become a place to go to school. It's become your work area for many people, but it's a place where families will grow. Safety, security, stability. Concord is a beautiful town. The school system is awesome. And we know that homeownership has proven that families have better health. The kids get better grades. They have a place to study. You will learn how to take care of your home. We will work with you to help you if you are not from Concord, to help you to get to know the town. We look for a local advocate if you're not from the town to work with you one-on-one, so that you know the special things about Concord. You know, do they do a special day? What happens with garbage? What about the schools? All that. So you will become a part of the local community. And that's why Habitat really looks to go into home ownership, because unlike renting, where you may move around more, we hope that this will be your forever home. Okay, so what are you going to need to do? Your financial commitment. Don't let this scare you, because we will work with you on this. But you will have to put a down payment, much less than what anybody who's buying through a conventional mortgage, but it would be $1,000 to split into 2 payments. And so that won't be needed until sometime in February, which is when we will be picking the family. So 2 payments. Now, there is closing costs. Everybody has closing costs. There are money that you have to put away in escrow for your insurance and your property taxes. There's title fees and title insurance. There's legal fees, recording fees. We will provide you with an attorney. You certainly can get your own attorney, but we will provide you with someone who will do that for free. But there are other costs involved. And normally that's about 3% of the sales price. We will do our best to minimize that, but you should be prepared to save money during the year because you will have to pay for closing costs. Many towns offer down payment assistance, and we will look very hard to see if we can find some for you, but we can't guarantee it. Normally when we're building in Lowell, there are some venues that we can get some down payment assistance. In Concord, we are currently still looking. You will be required to make mortgage payments when the house is completed, and I will go through those, what we think those costs will be. And we strongly encourage you to set up a repair account, because when the refrigerator goes, you are going to have to buy a new refrigerator. There's no one to call. It's your home. There's no landlord. You are the landlord, the homeowner. So $1,000 split into 2 payments starting sometime in February. Closing costs, which will be, let's just say, a year from February, maybe a little bit sooner, but around then. We will look to help you with down payment. After you close on the house, you will be required to make mortgage payments, and we hope that you will set up a repair account, even if it's just $25 a month. Okay, what is your physical commitment? So that was your financial. This is about sweat equity. So Habitat's motto is a hand up, not a hand out. You should be so proud of yourselves for this home. You are going to work very hard, much harder than I probably worked for my first home. And it is not a handout. You are getting a little bit of help to buy a beautiful home in a wonderful town at a reduced price. But you are paying a mortgage, you are putting in sweat equity, you are going to financial training. We strongly encourage that you volunteer at our Restore in Billerica during the application process over the next several months, so that you can get a feeling of, doing sweat equity, and that will count towards your sweat equity, any hours that you put in. If you're chosen as a partner family, you will have to put in hours. Single applicants will be required to work 225 hours over that year. Anybody with a dual income will be required to work 450 hours. I realize that's a lot. You're working already, you're trying to put your kids through school, teach them, and so I know that's difficult. So what we do is we do allow friends and family to help with 25% of your hours. So any family members, they can come out and work. They just need to tell us they're working for you. If you are working at an outside area, maybe you can encourage the people you work with to come and do a day, and those hours work out for you as well. Right now, we are building, even during COVID, we have a very, very safe environment, but we require 75% of the building of your sweat equity to be building your own home, and 25% can be at our Restore and our financial education classes. Depending on how the virus goes, we might lighten that up a little bit. But right now, we want you to be on site for 2 reasons. 1, you get to meet your neighbors. 2, you're going to learn some really valuable skills. So you don't have to call a plumber or an electrician every time there's a problem. Not that you're going to be doing electrical work, but sometimes it's a simple switch of a breaker instead of calling an electrician. So there's things like that we will teach you. And then you will be required to go to 22 hours, a minimum of 22 hours of financial training. Again, those classes are online. When the virus leaves us, there will also be in-person classes. Okay, so these are the details of the financial training. Again, these are only if you are selected as a homeowner. We're just trying to prepare you for what's down the road. You do not have to do that now while you're applying. We only encourage you to maybe do some hours at the Restore so you can get an idea of what sweat equity is like. But what you're going to need to do is, prior to you closing on the house, these are the required 22 hours. There's a financial literacy academy with CTI, Community Teamwork. They are located in Lowell, but again, the classes are online. And there's another first-time home buyers class with Merrimack Valley Housing Partnership. Again, that's online, and they are actually located in Lowell. Those two classes we require. There is an optional class. It's only for women, so that's why it's optional. But Budget Buddies also offers 12.5 hours of classes, and that will also count in your sweat equity. So if you want to do more than 22 hours and you want to go to Budget Buddies as well, those will count towards your sweat equity classes. Even if you're not selected, we strongly encourage that you may want to take 1, 2, or 3 of these classes. We have found that it really helps people for future, whether you're buying a home from Habitat or perhaps some other home buying. These classes have been really great. So we will give you the information about the classes. We only require you to take them if you're picked, but we strongly encourage that you might want to attend those classes. Okay, and now what is Habitat's involvement? Why are we different than just a plain old lottery? Habitat wears many hats. We are the social service agency. Tonight we have this class. You've probably seen the outreach flyers. Lisa's posted all over the place at laundromats, online, pizza places, all sorts of places, libraries. We look for the families. We serve the families in our local area. So we are the social service agency. We also raise the money to build your house. So the house isn't going to just build on its own. Everything is not free. We raise the money in the local community to pay for all the materials to build your home. We also build the home. So we're the funder, the social service, we're the financer, the funder, and we are the construction company. And we have our licensed construction team. They supervise all the volunteers, but we will build the house. And then lastly, we are the bank. So instead of going to, Eastern Bank or Enterprise Bank to get a mortgage, you're going to come to Habitat to get a mortgage. And because we are the bank, we can offer you an interest-free mortgage. So while everyone else is paying interest, every dollar, every payment they make, something goes to interest. You will not be doing that. You will gain equity in your home with the first payment. Now, we do go through an outside bank to bill you for your mortgage. You will get a bill from Eastern Bank, but Habitat is the one providing the mortgage. These homes, we guarantee the cost will be less than 30% of your income. That will include the payment of your principal. That will include insurance that you have to have on your home. That will include property taxes that you have to pay. And it will include a homeowners association fee because you are sharing walls and a roof and a driveway with the person upstairs or downstairs. All of those 4 costs, those are mandatory. You cannot own a home without that. And you will include in the under 30%. So depending on your income, the cost of the house could be different because if you're on the lower side of the income, we will charge you less to buy the house. Right now, we are guaranteeing that the houses will not be any more, the 2-bedroom will not be more than $200,000, 3-bedroom will not be more than $225,000. It could be less. Even if we spend more money to build the house, we will still charge you no more than that and possibly less depending on your income. But remember, you have to have an income. We will give you a 30-year interest-free mortgage so that we can spread your payments out over a longer period of time. Should you win the lottery after you get into the house and you decide to pay off your mortgage, there are no prepayment penalties. You certainly can do that. We don't encourage you to pay off your mortgage because it's interest-free. And you can take any extra money you have and put it in an interest-bearing account instead of paying off your mortgage. But we do realize that some people do like to pay off their mortgage sooner rather than later. So there is that option. So when I said that the house would be less than $200,000 for the 2-bedroom and less than $225,000 for the 3-bedroom, what does that really mean? What that does mean is with those principal payment, insurance, taxes, and your homeowners association fee, condo fee, the 2-bedroom will run about $1,100 a month. The 3-bedroom will run about $1,300 a month. I'm not sure what you're paying for rent right now, but I know with some of our other families, their rent has been equal to or more than that. And so this has been a savings for them. Like I said, it might be a little bit less depending on your income, but that's what it translates into. Okay, so everyone usually says this is too good to be true. Is there a catch? Well, if there's a catch, this is what the catch is. The first thing is we have two homes. One of the homes will have a local preference on it. What that means is earlier I said you needed to live, work, or go to school in our affiliate area, our 16 towns, which I'm going to tell you which those are. There will also be a preference for anyone who lives, works, or go to school in Concord. So there will be two lotteries. There will be one for people who live, work, or go to school in Concord, and their names will be picked out of a lottery first. If they qualify for a 3-bedroom, then they'll get the 3-bedroom. And then there'll be a general lottery for those who work or live or go to school in the rest of our territory, and the 2-bedroom would be available, or vice versa. If the local preference takes the 2-bedroom, then the 3-bedroom will go into the general lottery. Anybody who's entered into the local preference will also, if they're not picked, go into the general. If we don't get anybody from Concord, then the general pool will be for everybody. So that is one condition on this home. The second condition is the houses are deed restricted. They can never be sold for more than what the state says is affordable. So this home is, let's just say, is going to go for $225,000. The market price for this home in Concord would probably be more like $450,000 to $500,000, maybe even more. You can never sell your home for market. We don't want people moving, and I don't think you want to move into the home and flip it and make, $250,000 because you flipped the home as soon as you moved in. So what happens is the state has an affordable rate. We have a habitat rate. You can sell the home for what the state says. So not to go into too much, we will talk about this when you're chosen, but just to give you some numbers, you buy the house for $225,000. The market price is $500,000. You can never sell it for that. But the state says you can sell that house for $350,000. So you could move into the house at $225,000, and 10 years later, you could sell the house for $350,000 or whatever the state says. In order to protect against, again, flipping the house, we put a soft second mortgage on that home, which you do not have to pay if you stay in the home. And when you sell the home, it starts to be forgiven over a period of time. So you never have to pay it unless you sell the house before the restriction is gone. Again, we will go through that. All you need to know, you buy the house for $225,000, well below what the state says and what the market says. And then it's deed restricted. And we will go through that with you. Another restriction is the house has to be owner occupied. You cannot rent out the house. You need to live in the home. And then the other catch is you will be limited in some of your material selections for the home. Because it's a duplex, unless the two of you agree, we're going to pick the color of the siding on the outside of the house. You can pick everything inside, the flooring, the cabinets, the color of the appliances, the vanities, you can pick those. But anything that's on the outside of the house, we're going to probably pick it. The other thing is that sometimes we get some things donated. So let's just say the color of the roof, we might get it donated. We're going to put that on there. It's all brand new, but we will do that. And so that's the way we work. You pay your mortgage. It's a pay it forward. Your mortgage payment goes into a fund to help us build more houses. So you're helping other people. Okay. I hope that most of you have gotten this pre-qualification form. The reason we do this is because we are the bank. We're going to have you qualify for a mortgage just like you would if you went to a bank, although we have a little bit different standards. We're not as stringent. In order to save you some time from going through and getting all your rental payments, all your bills, statements from the bank, things like that, credit reports, we do a pre-qualification form. And that just basically gives us some general information. We can tell simply from there if we can move you forward in the process. I'm going to, hang on, I'm going to pull up the form so we can go through that together. Let me just find the form. Let's see. And again, we can go through this with you separately. Let me try to make that a little bit bigger. Okay. So Lisa usually sends that out. If someone has misplaced it, again, you can email Lisa. I'm going to give you that information again. But we strongly encourage you to go through this. Name, if there is a co-applicant, you put them on there, where you currently live. Your email address, please print as clearly as possible, because that is a way that we will be communicating with you, and any phone contact as well that you can give us. If English is a challenge or is your second language, if there's someone that you live with or can use to help translate, that would be great to start talking to those people now to ask them to help with that. Okay, so these are some general questions. You should be able to answer these without having to investigate too much. Do you fall within the income range on this second page? These are the income ranges. So if you are a two-person family, you should be between $30,700 and $61,880. That would be any income for those who are applying. If you have children in the home who are working, if they're going to school full-time and it's a part-time job, we don't want to include any of that. If they're over the age of 18 and working full-time, we're going to ask you for their incomes. Do you live, work, or attend school in one of the towns listed? Again, on the second page, these are our towns. So again, we're going to have a local preference for those who live, work, or go to school in Concord, but anyone who lives in those other towns, they also are going to be in the lottery. If you do not live, work, or go to school in those towns, we will direct you to another habitat. That you are in those towns is because to do sweat equity is extremely difficult if you live too far away. We've experienced that. And what I can tell you is we will not close on the home unless your sweat equity and your financial training is complete. If it takes you longer to do that than the house is done, we, again, will not put you in the home until that's done. So that's why we ask that you live or work or go to school in those territories. Have you had a steady income for at least 6 months? That we may waive a little bit because we realize people may have lost their job for COVID. We will take that on an individual basis. Have you ever owned a home before? If you currently own a home, we need to know that. The habitat is normally a first-time home buyer situation, but we also realize that people may be displaced because of a divorce, so they may have owned a home with someone else and now they're divorced, so that doesn't count. We want to know, though, if you have owned a home and how long ago. We want to know how many people are going to be living in the home. Put yourself, your co-applicant, their ages, and their sex. Because again, we have limited bedroom space and we want to make sure that that you will fit into the home. Have you applied for a Habitat home before? We only want to know that because we can go back, we might be able to pull some records previous, and that just helps us to go back. There are many people who apply 2 and 3 times for Habitat homes. So are you a citizen? Yes or no? If no, you need to give us your immigration status. Have you filed for bankruptcy or been through a foreclosure in the last 5 years? Pretty simple. Tell us yes or no and when. If you're accepted into the program, you really do need to think if you will be able to work through the sweat equity and do the classes. We will ask you that question again, but we ask that you make a commitment right now that you are willing to make that commitment. And then here we ask if you could just give us your gross wages for any sources, your monthly gross wages, as close as you can get, because this will help us to say, we'll ask the question, don't worry, we won't automatically say you're out, but it gives us a guideline of where you're at. And then if you could list, these are the biggest expenses usually: rent, car loan, and credit cards. Just an estimate, perhaps your last payment or your car loan if you have an amount on there. Then you just date it, sign it, and send it in. So that is a one-pager. We strongly encourage you to do that as soon as possible. Once you get that in, Lisa will get back with you. She may have some questions. And if you qualify going forward, we will send you the big application. If you don't, if there's a problem, we will explain why there's a problem, advise what you might want to do, and give you some information that way. Let me go back to the presentation. We just have a couple. Share. Okay. I want to. Okay. I want to remind you about the selection criteria. Again, live, work, or go to school in our affiliate territory, or there will be a house for someone who does that in Concord. You have to have an ability to pay the mortgage and the household costs. There has to be a need for adequate shelter, adequate and affordable. You have to be willing to partner with us, sweat equity, and the household size has to fit. Okay, this is the process. These are the dates. This presentation will be up on our website in a couple of days. But this is our first session. There will be another one on Saturday, December 18th. And then the recording of this will be available on December 10th. We ask that you fill out that pre-qualification sheet. It'd be great if you can get it back to us within two weeks of this session. Again, we understand it's the holidays, but we know that this would be an awesome holiday gift. So we know that you'll make it a priority. We will notify you whether or not you're going to qualify for a final application. And like I said, we'll give you as best we can an explanation of why or why not. Anybody that does qualify will be mailed the final application packet. It will be a 4 or 5 page application. You'll be required to give bank statements, bills. There'll be a checklist. So anybody who doesn't qualify, we will keep you informed and we will let you know within 30 days. The final application must be received postmarked by 5 p.m. on Saturday, January 23rd. You can also drop it off. There's a sealed box upstairs in our office. I'm going to give you a couple other things in the next slide. What happens after you submit your application? We go through everything and we're going to do a home visit where you currently live and we're going to meet your family. Normally we would come out and do that. This time it'll probably be over Zoom, but we will work with you on having you show us where you currently live, letting us meet your family, probably have a few questions for you, but we do like to come out and meet the families. And then the lottery will be on February 22nd, no later than February 22nd. We will notify you of that. It will be live on Zoom. You'll be a big hoopla for who gets picked. And then after you're picked through the lottery, the DHCD, the Department of Housing and Community Development, does have to give their final blessing, as well as our board. But there's never been a problem with that. So I hope this won't be the first. Okay, we already went through that form together, but this is the contact information for Lisa, lgarvey at lowellhabitat.org, or you can call her at 978-692-0927, and she's extension 4. And then there are some other ways that you can get the pre-qualification application on our website, or you can call or email Lisa if you haven't gotten it already. If you once you're done completed, you can email the pre-qualification to Lisa if you'd like, or you can come by our office in Westford. As I mentioned, there's a locked box upstairs in the lobby. You can drop it off before 5 o'clock on Saturday, or you can mail it to us at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Lowell, and that's our mail address. But again, it has to be postmarked before 5 o'clock on January 23rd. We'd love to see you in a home of your own. We'd love to be handing over those keys. These are a couple of our families, a few of our families. We've built Habitat handicap accessible homes in the past. This home will not be handicap accessible because there is no room to do that. But we have built them in the past. So I'm going to try to unmute you. I know there's at least 24 people on the phone. Lisa, can you unmute yourself? Or do I need to do that? I think you can. No, you can't unmute yourself. Okay, hang on a second.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. All right,
Just
first
a quick clarification, just one on that last slide. The information that we were giving out was for the pre-qual forms. So the deadline for those is kind of just as soon as possible. You know, that's where you can pick them up. So there's a difference. The pre-qual form is that one sheet that we just went through. Just get it back. I've gotten quite a few back already from people who got them off the website, or I mailed them to you. So you want to get those back as soon as possible. The deadline for the final applications is 5 o'clock on the 23rd of January. So just clarifying that.
Okay. Okay. Hang on a second. I'm going to allow participants to unmute yourselves. I think I can do that. If allow participants to unmute themselves. Okay. So again, I realize there's 24 of you on the phone. Most people do not want to ask questions. You are certainly free to ask us questions on here if you'd like. Or Lisa and I are here in the office now. You can certainly email. We'll be here tomorrow morning too. So you can email us or call and ask questions. Lisa, I don't know about the chat. Is there
Nobody's
anyone?
unmuted yet though, so you want to unmute them?
Well, they can unmute themselves, I think.
Melissa.
We're unmuted. We unmuted ourselves.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. So if
Question,
you
Melissa?
What?
Did you have a question or?
I do have a question. I have a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Sure. So
So-
wait, before you ask, just one thing. If people don't have questions and you don't want to listen to these questions, you're certainly free to drop off. Or you can stay on and listen and we'll take questions. You can get off and do whatever you want. So, okay, go ahead, Melissa.
The first time home buyers class we took about 12 years ago. Do we need to retake the class?
You do.
Yeah, we'll take it if it's within the last 2 years,
2 years.
Lisa?
Yeah, 2
Yeah.
years.
Yep.
But yeah,
So-
12 years is a lot of changes have gone on for mortgages and things like that. And it's easy to take now because it's online and it's a lot of updating. Did you take it with MVHP or?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
took it with MVHP.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's not hard to do. They run classes quite often now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second question is, we're in Concord, so we would like to know, even if we don't get chosen, can we help with the builds? Do we have to be chosen to
Yes.
participate?
Yes.
We take all kinds of volunteers. Yes, you are happy to come out. We take old, young, sometimes kids. They have lunch, but yes, we'd love to have you come out. We won't, like I said, be starting to build probably until February. We really like to have the families chosen when we start to build because volunteers love to come out and meet the families, but we would happy to have any volunteers and come out and build with us. That'd be great.
We would love that. And then I have one last question, and I'll leave everybody else to their questions.
Sure.
So we have 2 boys.
Mhm.
Our bedrooms decided on shareable genders. So like right now we live in a 3-bedroom, but the reason for the 3-bedroom is because both boys are autistic and need separate bedrooms. Would it
Okay.
be decided and determined because they're both boys that we only needed a 2-bedroom?
No.
No.
If you have enough people and you can put one person in each bedroom, then that's fine. We
Okay.
just wouldn't have, let's say it was just you and one child, we wouldn't put you in a 3-bedroom and give you an extra. Well, I shouldn't say that. If no one else applied and you was just 2 of you and there was a 3-bedroom available, we would put you in a 3-bedroom. We have had that happen. But no, if there's space and they can each have their own room, then yes. And you would have the choice, I guess. My point would be, let's say if you're picked as the Concord, you would have the choice of the 3-bedroom or the 2-bedroom, as long as you can fill every bedroom.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other
Um,
questions?
oh,
Eureka.
Yep.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
Hi.
can't read right in
Yes.
there. Go ahead.
It's Eunice. The R is
Eunice,
silent.
Okay.
So I did speak to Lisa already, and I know because of where I live, I don't qualify for Concord. I live in Lexington. So where would I qualify for Habitat?
You would be in the Boston affiliate, and I can
I'll send you
contact.
that info. I thought I might have
Yeah.
sent you that already, but the Boston affiliate, and there are some affiliates who don't have territory restrictions. So you could check with maybe North Central, which is around Acton and goes out Route 2. They may not
Right.
have, we require it because we've run into problems with people being able to build and get to the build site.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I'm happy. I can send you a couple of different suggestions.
Can you
Yeah,
please?
and we can
Thank
find
you.
out where they're building now as well,
Mhm.
Please, I'd
when the
appreciate
next
that.
family selection is. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else?
I have a question.
Okay.
I
Sherry?
filled out an application about a year or two ago, and would I have to reapply for the pre-qualification application?
You do.
Yes.
You do. Because your income is different, the kids' ages are different, or, right. So we require every time we open up an application, the pre-qualification form. If you just applied for our Alpine Street in the last year, we might be able to drag over some of those taxes and things, but, you filed different taxes this year. So, we asked for, and your banking would be different. When you get the final application, we're asking for a lot of information. That's why when we're asking your information on pre-qual, we want you to be, honest and accurate, as Brenda said, as best you can, but you know what you make per month. So
Okay.
you want to be able to give us an accurate picture, because we're going to send you a big packet that requires current banking, current taxes, current bills. Your bills will have changed over the course of the last year or two. So yeah, every application process is a new one.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Christina.
Question.
Sherry,
Sherry.
Sherry, is that what it is? Yep.
It's Lexi.
Lexi, okay.
Everyone goes by their.
Okay, go ahead, Lexi.
So I have two questions. I have a lot of questions, but I'll stick with two. Is there is some flexibility on the maximum income, or is that a case to case?
I'm going to say there's flexibility because if your income is not steady, I guess I would say, if you have a job where you work 40 hours a week and you're making $100,000, there's no flexibility. But a lot of people have seasonal jobs or get overtime. Sometimes overtime could be reasonably steady. Sometimes it might not be. So you should give us your income as best you can. And if it is over the limit, I would put a little note on it and we'll go back and take a quick look at it. So, but yeah.
Okay, thank you. And is there like a form or something that we should fill out in order to start putting some sweat equity in at the restore?
Sure. Lisa, you can.
Yeah, so what you do is you can go to lowellhabitat.org, the same place where we have the pre-qual forms, or if you can email me and I can send you the link. You really just pre-register on our volunteer up system, and you can register to volunteer. The restore is open Wednesday through Saturday, so you can pick the times that you want to volunteer. They're not open on Sundays anymore. That was always a good day for applicants to join because they're not working. But basically you just self-register and then go sign up when you can help.
Yeah, and you can do, a couple hours or 4 hours, it's not, we like to have people there at least a couple hours. So
yeah, so the smaller shift is like 3 hours, but the 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. When we go to the build site's hours are 8 to 3. So that's something to consider, when you're applying. You can't come for 3 hours. You can't generally come for 4 hours, in general. The build site is 6 hours.
Right.
Just to, as an applicant.
Right, because in the morning, we will explain our safety and what people are going to be doing. And so we can't have people just coming in and out all the time. So,
That's good to know.
but you said you had other questions. And again, feel free to email Lisa and we will go through them, or call, and we'll answer every question that you have as best we can.
Tammy.
Okay.
Hi, dear Lisa.
Hello.
My question is in regards to the pre-qualification when you're filling out and based on the income. I'm a single mom, so I get child support. Is child support considered part of the income?
Yes.
If it's court ordered, it will be. I'm gonna say sometimes it's not always paid. So we're gonna work with you to do whatever benefits you. If it benefits you and it's court ordered and it helps you with your income, we're gonna make it work for you. If the person is not paying that support, we're gonna work with you on that too. So yes, it should be. We don't include, Lisa, what else? We don't include
Well,
food.
Right, we don't include any kind of fuel
Wait.
assistance or food
Right.
stamps or any sort of government program that could come or go. You know,
Right.
we certainly wouldn't include, if you got a stimulus check, you know, that's a one-time thing. But
Right.
things that are
But-
constant income sources,
Yeah, if there's an
you know, if-
alimony payment or child support. it's best-
SSI, if children are
Right.
getting that as well.
Right, any disability would count in your income.
Okay. Okay. Also in regards to the 3 bedrooms, I have 3 boys and then myself. Does that, with the boys being able to share a room, does that allow me to be able to apply for this?
I
Hold on,
mean,
I gotta plug my battery in.
right, the maximum that you could have in a 3-bedroom, and I say this kind of with tongue in cheek because I don't know about what your situations are now, but I know when I was growing up, we had 3 people sharing bedrooms. The Department of Housing and Community Development would like 2, a maximum of 2. And there's usually some age differences on that as well. So technically you could have 6 people in a 3-bedroom if the ages and things worked out. But yes, they can share a bedroom. The rooms are a decent size. So, you know, even just 2 beds, sometimes people put bunk beds in. The same thing with the 2-bedroom. If you had 2 kids and say there was 2 adults, you could put 4 people in that home.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Anything else?
Thank you for answering that question. I appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Anyone else?
I have a couple questions as well. It's Brenda, the other one.
Brenda?
I know that you guys mentioned how if we had a previous application from the last year, like the Alpine Street. So I applied for the Alpine Street, but my life did a 360 where income, living circumstances, everything has changed and it's been better this year. Would I be able to just submit an entire new application rather than you guys pulling it back from the last
Yes.
previous year?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So we're gonna send you the whole packet and ask for you to get updated information. I'm saying like your check, if you sent your taxes in for the last 3 years, we have 2 of them already. You just
Yeah.
need to send the next tax return in, you know, those kind of things.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
anything that would help you, we certainly would want you to resubmit as well. So, but yes, you would resubmit your application.
And then my next question is something similar to what Tammy was asking in regards to how many people you could put into the house. So we're actually expecting, I know that
Congratulations.
we have, me and my boyfriend currently doesn't live together, but we're hoping to be able to be in the same house once the baby is here. So we have 2 girls. His girl is 6, my girl is 6. They're both 6. And then we have his son who's 8. Would the baby be able to be with the older son, or would the baby be able to be with us? That's where I was a little confused. I was trying to like ask Lisa about, I don't know. We're expecting a baby boy as well. So we have 2 boys and 2 girls coming 2021.
Yeah, we probably should answer that offline. I mean,
Yeah.
you could probably put the 2 boys together, yes, even though the age difference, I don't know what the other one son is. But we, you know, I say
Yeah, there
6
is a
people.
restriction, Brenda, on age difference between 2
Right.
children in the same. So we'd have to take that on a case by case.
I have to say that, you know, the Department of Housing and Community Development, because this house is going to count in the subsidized inventory for Concord. So we're going by the Department of Housing and Community Development rules. Their rules have certain things for square footage, certain for a number of people in a bedroom, certain for ages. However, we might be able to speak with them because, again, we don't want to overcrowd the house, but I also realize that it could be way better your current living conditions. So there are restrictions on ages, as Lisa mentioned, but I think what we would do is we would bring that up to the DHCD and see if there is any leeway for if there was an age, as an example, an age issue.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But we are following their rules.
Yeah, I figured I'd just ask just because like we are having a high risk pregnancy, so God forbid, we don't know what's gonna happen. I don't want to jinx it, but rather honest than being, not knowing. So I just figured I'd ask.
Nope, we can check into that. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Hello.
Hi, Maria.
Hello. So I have a question.
Yep.
This is in regards to my work. I'm an Uber driver, and I know with the first-time homebuyers, I took a first-time homebuyers class a few months ago, and I know that they, coming from the bankers, that they need a lot of supplemental documents to kind of assist when they consider Uber drivers. I didn't know if this is something that is, I don't know if I could base myself in Concord. I'm kind of all over. But how do you assess Uber drivers as a part of your application? And how long does someone have to need to work in Concord? My son is in Medco. So I just I'm worried about the work part of the pre-qual and application.
And where do you currently live?
In Boston.
Oh, okay.
And where does your son go to school, though? He goes to school in Concord.
Medco, Concord.
Yeah. So you would qualify because your child goes to school in Concord.
Is the supplemental things that the supplemental documents that the banks need for regular home buying? Do you guys share those views, or what do you need?
We do. Right. We need the same kind of income verification.
Right. What we're trying to, and we'll look at any past tax records and your whatever you've got for income, but we are the bank, so we are loaning you $200,000 or $225,000. So we have to, be responsible to make sure that we don't put you in a situation where you would not succeed. We haven't had any foreclosures on the 49 or 48 homes. We don't plan this one to be the first. So we would ask for supplemental, and we would work with you to figure out what the real regular income is for you on that. So I don't know what the banks are asking for, but we will be asking to as best we can to confirm a steady income for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Okay. All right. Well, listen, you have Lisa's email. You can also go to our website. All of our emails are on there, lowellhabitat.org. We ask that you get the pre-qual in as soon as you can. So that
you can email that. Just to clarify, you can email the pre-qual. You cannot email the final application. There's too many documents. You have to drop that off or mail it, or, so we have a secure box in our lobby, and it will explain that in the packet, but don't try to email that.
Right. So just the pre-qual. It's a one-pager. You can certainly put some notes on it if you need to. And we will get back with you as soon as possible. We will keep you updated throughout the process. If for some reason you don't qualify, like I said, we will let you know, and we'll try to help you with how you might qualify for the next one. So we'll keep you up to date. But we're really looking forward to this. Is house number 50. We've got some great stuff going on in Concord. The town is ecstatic about having this home. It's a great walk into West Concord. It's a real nice location.
I have a question. Can Lisa, can you email me the pre-qualification form, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you. So if you want to watch this again, because it was so entertaining, it'll be on the website. If you want to come again on December 19th, you can come again, ask whatever questions, and we hope to.
If you think of a question that you didn't ask,
right,
let us know.
And we know we're going to see at least, hopefully, 2 of you in our building. So excellent.
Please don't forget to send the stuff for me.
Oh, I won't forget.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eunice.
All right.
All right, guys and gals and everyone.
Thank you
very much. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
This is
Have a good
awesome.
night.
I learned a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you.